y'all. So I've done another quick weave tutorial on my YouTube, but the grind doesn't stop. So I'm here again, and I needed to do this for a photo shoot since I am a makeup ambassador, and I just wanted to make sure that my hair looks cute for the camera. So as of right now, I'm just doing the braid down. When you do your braid down, you want to make sure you section your leave out portion, which is this very front braid right here. And then I also like to leave a side braid, just because I like to have like my natural edges out. I usually don't do quick weaves with frontals, and that's really only because like I'm not really super skilled with lace maintenance. But once I am, then that is probably something I'll do, just because it'll definitely save your hair from any heat damage or anything like that when it's all covered. It's basically just like a wig. But yes, you want to make sure that you section off your areas where it will be left out. I do it on both sides just because like I like to have that like natural flip up type look, and it's a little bit more versatile. And then as far as the rest of the braid down, on the part of my hair where like most of the body will be, I usually make the braids a little bit bigger, but where the flatter part will be on the side part, make those braids a little bit smaller, just so that way it doesn't look bumpy on that end, just so it's a little bit more flat. And then I oil my scalp because it do be itching. Like if you ask anybody who usually do quick weaves, baby, they keep a rat tail comb on hand. Like it just makes your scalp itch. So but yeah, I use some oil just to kind of mediate that, and I use two ball caps with the HD, just so that way I could like see where I'm applying like my glue outline, which I do use. I know you're not supposed to, but girl, conditioner to get it out. But yeah, I use two HD wig caps, just so that way I can see. And then you will see me line the edge of my scalp with some glue later, just for the foundation. And then of course, as the first of many times, I will blow dry. You want to make sure all of the glue and or other products are dry on your hair, just so that way, once again, you want to avoid a lot of itching later from like trapped moisture. I'm not a cosmetologist, but I'm just saying. Anyways, I'm applying the liquid cap. This is just an added extra protective step, for your hair, so that way it does not have to like be stuck to like the actual hair glue during the quick weave. So you want to make sure you could use as much as you can. I use about the whole bottle, and I just pour it on there. I don't know where I went to the bathroom to wash my hands because it's sticky. But yes, I pour about the whole bottle on there. And then I use the HD cap once again, so that way I can actually see what I'm cutting and doing. And once your liquid cap is dry, you are going to use a blow dryer after that. I'm sorry I didn't include that. But once it's completely dry, you're going to take some scissors and cut around your leave out braids on your cap, so that way it's actually left out. Like that's the leave out type, you know what I'm saying? But everything else should be completely covered with the liquid cap. And yes, after this you can begin the actual applying of tracks. Now I use purple pack hair from the store. You could use real bundles, whatever you prefer. I was only keeping the styling for a week, so I was like, I'm gonna just use some purple pack hair. In total it was like $60, but my beauty supply store runs sales because they know it'd be a lot of college students there, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, as far as the first ones, I use 10 inches in the back. I like to layer my bob, make it look thick. Feel me? The hair has changed their density because they getting better with the quality. But yeah, and you want to put it around the perimeter of your head and measure it. Put your finger to where like you knew it was like the end, and then cut it. Then you're just gonna apply glue to the track, and then just like line it up to the measured part of your hair where you had measured it before. You know what I'm saying? And essentially, I'm just going to keep repeating this measurement process until I'm at the top of my head. And yeah. Hey guys, back again, back to back, made back, stack the M's. I'm just playing. So yeah, we're gonna use the 12-inch at the top, and that's the last track I'm laying. I basically just did it off camera because the video was about 50 minutes long before I edited. So yes, this is the last track. I definitely leave a little bit of space between my real hair and the leave out. My real hair, whatever the case may be, and I lay it on the cap. And yeah, I just dry it on up. Dry the rest of my hair if there's any other, tracks that are still wet with glue or whatever the case may be. And then I just get into the styling portion of my hair. Now, once again, I'm not a trained cosmetologist, but, I just blow dry my hair, just try to straighten it out a little bit prior to actually applying, like, a straightener to my hair. And then right here, I was just kind of sectioning it because a little bit of, like, the weave was, like, getting mixed up with my real hair. And I think I had some of, like, the liquid protection spill over into my real hair. Like, I'm telling y'all, I just be winging it. I'm just trying to look cute and not go bald, okay? But yes, right now I'm just putting some heat protectant in my hair. I don't think it necessarily matters what heat protectant you use, whatever you have on hand, as long as it's like thorough and it works for your hair. But I just put it in my hair, just some added extra protection. And then I'll go in later and then I will straighten my hair. This is just a wax stick, you feel me? I just do this, just because, like, I like my hair, like, real greasy and laid, honey bun, like, yes. But, yes, I just want to make sure. Ah!
What happened to your wife, huh?
I don't believe him. Oh, my God.
She might open that
Wait. Child, I'll be watching Biddy in Black, and that show is insane. Like, if you have if you have Netflix, go watch Beauty in Black, because it's literally insane. Like, I don't know what Tyler Perry got going on. Now, the acting is a little bit cringy, but it's quite good. So, anyways, like I was saying, I use a little bit of the wax stick because I like my hair fried-eye laser aside, thank you. And then I go in and I straighten my hair a little bit. You feel me? This is just so that way it could be a little bit, extra laid. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to make it look like the Pinterest picture. Hello. So, in one of the TikToks I've seen, like, like the actual hairstylist was doing this. But once again, you don't want to fry your hair. When it comes to me, sometimes, like, I don't want to say I don't care, but hey, it's my hair. So, yeah. So, but you might just want to be cautious. If it helps, maybe you could just straighten it first with no product and then add the product later. But, yes. And then the rest of this is me essentially just going in and straightening the rest of my leave out. So I left a little bit of the footage in case y'all want to just watch me straighten my hair. So yeah, y'all can just play this video in the background of y'all like cleaning the house or something. But yeah.
baby, let me blow like a trumpet. I could do it all. I could probably suck a watermelon through a straw. Believe me, every other day, new wig, new hair. Come take me out this smooth glare. I be waiting on you some long. You ready to down low like bombs to red boom. Nothing but a robe in your house. I wanna put these pretty pink toes in your mouth. Send news to your phone while you working. Boy, you gotta see it in person. Believe me. Can't just keep talking about it. We need to talk about it. We can't just be cautious about it. I wanna get right. Take me for a ride, boy. Show me why it's right, boy. Know it's been a while, boy. I wanna get right.
Okay, so this is when I started cutting my hair. The first time that I actually did a bob on myself, I definitely did wing all of this. But one thing I don't show before I do start cutting is I comb and I measure about 3 to 4 times prior to actually cutting. Because once again, if you're not a hairstylist and you just trying to do this on yourself, you just want to make sure that you don't butcher it, and you're not leaving yourself with something that you're happy with. And then after the fact, you just want to make sure that you're thoroughly going through it. Look, I know I ate. Ha! Thank you. But hello. But yes. So once again, just make sure that you're going through it thoroughly, and measuring and remeasuring. And then when it's time to cut the other side, just keep in mind one side may be longer than the other, depending on whether or not you do a side part. So you just want to measure it and try to get it as precise as possible. And yeah, just kind of just use your eyes. And I don't know, just make sure that it's lined up. You feel me? I apologize. It's not nothing else I can really tell you, a secret or anything or a tip or nothing. But also, if it helps, you'll see me later on pull hair from the back and then line that up with hair from the front, which will also look different as well, because okay, it's hair in the back, so it drops down different. But try to the best of your ability to line up your bob and then cut it as much as you can to match. Sometimes you'll also see me cut and recut. Just try to line it up as much as possible. I don't have any clippers to kind of do that razor effect, and quite frankly that might actually end up butchering it, so but yes, I just cut to the best of my ability. Hey, so for the finishing touches, I kind of just bumped my ends a little bit. No, I did not leave it like this. I look like a church girl, honey. But I love me a cute little 60s bob, something real adorable, yes. But I did just bump it, just just to leave it with something, just to at least style it before I went to sleep or whatever the case may be.